Hello everyone, and welcome to Divine Debut 11. This is Kathy speaking, and thank you for joining me here on this Wednesday the 9th of October of 2024. Geez, the year is almost over, and we're on the final stretch towards Christmas, which is a very busy season in our line of work. As most of you know, I do astrology and tarot. I don't do only tarot, I don't only do astrology, so I've got so much that I offer, and that keeps me on my toes. We're coming up to the end of the year, and it's just screaming to me, get your finger out and get busy, because it's always crazy before and after Christmas. So I'm just giving you a heads up. If you're interested in a personal reading, get in before the busy time. That way you won't have to wait as long as if you order and pay for a reading closer to Christmas. Okay, so I'm giving you a heads up. Get in early if you're interested, and that way you will know what's ahead of you in 2025. I do offer yearly readings, tarot, astrology. We offer everything. You can get in touch with me at divinedebut11@gmail.com, and our website is beneath this video, as well as our email. Get in touch, let us know what you're interested in, and we will fit the reading to suit your needs. We are very flexible here at Divine Debut 11. So, what's going on? What's going on in love? As we always look at love on Wednesdays. Today, as I said, is Wednesday the 9th of October. Jupiter in Gemini has just turned retrograde, and in a couple of days we've got Pluto at the last degree of Capricorn for the last time. That's turning direct and will ingress into Aquarius for the last time. It is a big deal, because we won't be seeing this again, we won't be feeling this again, we won't be in this type of energy. And Pluto finishes up in Capricorn around the 19th of November, depending on where you are in the world. Pluto is the ruling planet of the 8th natural house of intimacy, of deep connection, transformative connection. So look to the house of Capricorn in your own birth chart and see what Pluto is finishing up there for you. Which house does Capricorn rule for you in your natal birth chart? It is very significant. So Pluto is going to turn direct on the 12th, again, depending on where you are. So in 2-3 days, about 2-3 days, Pluto changes direction. And Jupiter will be retrograde until next year, my dear friends. Jupiter, the planet of abundance, manifestation, truth, justice, seeing the bigger picture, anything to do with dealings with foreigners, and distant lands, foreign travel. Jupiter is in the house of Gemini. Gemini is the house of communication, collaboration, commerce, short distance or long distance travel. Gemini is all about our perception, the way we perceive what we are being told. Be careful, don't go overboard with your words. Don't go overboard, don't get overexcited, over optimistic. Jupiter is going back, hopefully, to see, what is it that we need to retweak and relook at. A retrograde planet is always about going back. Now, I do see the picture of Mars, the bigger picture of Mars, the planet of desire, passion, extreme force many times, aggression, warlike energies. Mars, which is the divine masculine archetype in Cancer, the sign of the past, the home, the family, where you reside. Mars is transiting through Cancer, not in a strong position at all. He prefers to be opposite in Capricorn. That's where he's exalted. Right? So Mars and Pluto, they're going to be in opposition. We're going to have warlike energies collectively as well as personally. moving forward now in October and leading on to November, Mars will be doing something there in Cancer, and at the beginning of Leo, the first 6 degrees of Leo is where Mars will be retrograding. He'll be getting up to Leo, the first degrees, and then coming back. He's got something that he needs to fix, something that he wants to move forward on, but he's being withheld, he's being held back because of possibly also obligations, personal obligations, strong emotions, sensitivities. So much could be what Mars in Cancer is bringing up, but it is bringing up matters to do with the past. Now, we'll be talking about that on Patreon. If you're not on Patreon, do consider joining us. We'll be doing a Mars analysis. We'll be talking about the dates when he's going to be leaving Cancer and entering Leo in a fire sign, where he'll be more powerful, then regressing back into Cancer to turn direct. This is a story that will lead us all the way up until May. And speaking of love, we've got another Venus star point. That's the Venus-Sun conjunction, 22nd of March next year in 2025. And that will be happening at the first degrees of Aries, 3 degrees of Aries, which is a Mars-ruled sign. So, that time, spring in the Northern Hemisphere and, autumn and fall in the Southern Hemisphere, that time of our lives seems to be a very important time. I do feel as though, looking at the bigger picture, that we're going into a season now where things need to be looked at, worked out, left behind, or seen again, have a second chance. We're returning back to the past, see if relationships can be salvaged, fixed. Can we get over any past issues that have brought some sort of a breakup, a breakdown? Hopefully we can have a breakthrough as well as to breaking free if we've been stuck in karmic difficult cycles with relationships that are controlling and narcissistic and not giving back, but only sucking our energy. Can we release those and move on through self-worth, self-love, and self-appreciation? That's what the North Node in Aries is talking about. Now, it's interesting because Jupiter retrograding, and we had in July, we had another Venus star point, so Venus-Sun conjunction, roughly at that 14th degree of Gemini. So Jupiter, as he's going to be retrograding, he will be touching on and going over that Venus star point. So what was going on mid-year for you in July? Jupiter will be revisiting that. Mars will be revisiting also matters to do with the past. Look, today as we're doing this reading, we've got Venus in Scorpio in a positive flowing trine. This is help from Spirit over to Mars in Cancer. Mars in Cancer is weak, so the masculine is weak. Not to say that Venus in Scorpio is strong. She's not strong because she's away from home. She rules Taurus. She also rules Libra. But Venus in the sign of Mars, it's like she takes on the energy of Mars. So she's more powerful, I would say. In Scorpio, Venus is a death and a metamorphosis, a more amorphic Venus where she's wanting change. She's cutting unhealthy ties, toxic ties, as she could be going through an ending of a cycle or an ending with a particular person, but she's also, she could be rebirthed, reborn through her ashes. So it's a very important time right now for love. Very, very important indeed. As we're still moving through the Libra season, which is a Venus-ruled sign, and Venus is the goddess of love, We do have opportunities for love to flow at this time, but it's very transformative, it's very sensitive, and could be very emotional as well. Could be very secretive. Secret means, an inability to understand, to have the knowledge. And as I said in yesterday's Mercurial messenger reading, truth is knowledge and knowledge is power. Hopefully with Venus transiting through Scorpio, Scorpio is very secretive. We will see what is beneath the surface relative to what's going on in love, as the lovers are in good flow right now. Okay, let's see, because there could also be talks about imbalances and injustices relative to the harmony within relationships, as we've got the ability to be able to see what is the wound. What is this wound that could be, could be connected to our deep past, to our childhood, to past lifetimes, as Mercury in Libra, in the house of relationships, is in opposition to Chiron in Aries. Right? And Mercury is also on Juno. Juno is the asteroid of commitment. Some of you are saying you either commit or I move forward. This is what I need. Remember, Libra is an cardinal air sign which speaks of masculinity, but Libra is also ruled by Venus. Let's not forget. And, Lilith, Black Moon Lilith, that dark side to Venus, let's say, or the raw sexual, I'm losing my marbles, I'm losing my mind, I demand respect, I demand equality. The dark side of the feminine. Lilith is who felt, that she was not treated fairly and just relative to the Garden of Eden and being the partner or the spouse, let's say, of Adam. She's on the 29th degree of Libra, which is where we had a Venus star point. I think it was last October. I can't remember either last October or the October before. Let me just check that. I really always tend to forget this. These are the Venus star points. And just looking back at the Libra Venus star point, which is, here it is right here. So it was in 2022. So it wasn't last year, it was the year before. And pay attention because, the October 22nd, 2022, where we had that Venus-Sun conjunction back in October of 2022. Now, our next Venus star point will be in March, on the 22nd of March of 2024. So that, there's like a sequence for me. So there's something promised next year, intuitively. This is what I feel. And Lilith demands respect, equality. Otherwise, she loses her marbles and she will retaliate. She will react. So this could also be bringing up issues relative to October of 2022. So think of your own life and think of what was going on back then. Let's take the Karma Dharma. Let's stop blabbing on. Kathy getting over excited about what's going on in the astrology. And let's look at the tarot. Let's look at the tarot and see where is this connection, this twin flame, this karmic, this soulmate connection now potentially. Where is it, dear Spirit? Thank you for your guidance and your help. Yep, release, and there's a death process, and the death card we know is always a metamorphosis, which means a death as per a resurrection. After a death, something stops taking up space, and therefore something can be birthed once something is gone. What is that something for you? It will be different for each of us. Now, this is Scorpio, and remember, Scorpio is ruled by Pluto, and Pluto is at that anaretic 29th degree of Capricorn. And Pluto, if we think about it, is also in a square to that 29th degree of Libra. So very, very important for the cardinal areas in our chart, for the cardinal signs. So Capricorn, Cancer, Libra, and Aries. If you've got planets or you were born on those last 2-3 days of the cardinal signs. But Pluto, third time now, at that 29th degree, squaring over to Lilith, right? At the 29th degree, where we had that Venus star point. You know, a Venus star point is Venus dying, you know, going through a death process in the embrace of the sun, going through a death process and a resurrection, seeing the truth, going through healing. Fire is inspiration, passion. Fire clears, fire burns, and then remember from Venus, as Venus is transiting through Scorpio now, from those ashes can be reborn, rebirthed, a new situation. Is it the same relationship, or is it, for some of you, leaving a past narcissistic, difficult situation as you've met possibly a very important relationship? Twin flame relationships, how I see them through my experience, they don't come at the time that you want them to come. They come when Spirit says. When Spirit says so, and many times relationships such as these usually find us in other connections. Twin flames are never easy. They are never easy. Neither are karmic relationships. And soulmate connections, I would say, are more flowing and easy because there's a stronger affiliation. Soulmates could be, you know, they hold a strong foundation of friendship and understanding. Karmic, for me, is like opposites. Twin flames are more, they're two halves of a whole where they both have the same wants or likes, dislikes. They're so similar that is probably where they clash, and they need to surrender into the relationship, right? And they fit each other like a glove. So we do offer VSP, Venus Star Point readings on our website. They are very important. All you need to know is your person's birthday, not the birth time, not the birthplace. Just through looking at your birthday and their birthday, we have the ability to see if you are in a twin flame, in a soulmate, or in a karmic connection. And this is all due to the research done by Ariel Gutman, okay, a very famous and very experienced astrologer. So we do offer those VSP readings, and we offer twin flame readings. We've got two, an hour long and a 90-minute long love reading, twin flame reading. We offer also a mixture of astrology and tarot. They're called the deluxe readings. Now, if you're on Patreon, you are entitled to a discount, and you receive so much more through Patreon. So do consider joining us, joining our soul tribe. As we go, we're going through our awakening. All of us who are on Patreon, and most of us that are here, are on the way to our awakening, going through a spiritual awakening. All of you here are very intelligent. You think very deeply. You've got that know-how. That's why you're here. You're not for a quick fix and just me taking 5 cards and telling you, okay, it's going to work out or it's not going to work out. Remember, this is a general reading. We are reading the energies. And through your connection energetically with us here, you may receive some messages for yourself. But remember, this is for many that we are reading. And today we are using the Hanson Roberts Tarot deck. Thank you, Spirit, for your guidance on what's going on in love, what is going on in these very important love relationships around about now early October, unless you're watching this whenever you're watching it. I would say they're also timeless. Don't worry about the astrology. Okay, pay attention to the tarot if you're watching this at a later date. Another thing, we will be taking generally the love messages, the handwritten love messages. I think we're going to give the personal handwritten love messages a break, as we're going to be doing it randomly, here or there, whenever it suits the situation, whenever I can. As I said to you, a little bell went off in my head saying that we're coming up to the end of the year, and I don't want to be left behind, as I am usually every year, and I've got a lot on my plate. So as I said, get in early, otherwise you'll have to be waiting in line, as the Christmas season is a very busy season. Let's see what's going on. Where is love at this time? I think I'm going to call on Archangel Michael and Archangel Lophiel today. They are my spirit guides. I am very connected with them. Please show us. Thank you, Spirit. Let's take a Celtic cross. We've got Justice. Justice is here in the now, a very, very strong card. What is challenging Justice? And we know this is Libra, and it speaks to balance, harmony, reciprocity. But remember that the South Node is in Libra. So South Node is release. It's a Saturnian energy. Saturn is a dark force, a difficult energy, the taskmaster, timing. So maybe the timing now is bringing you justice, or there's an unjust situation possibly going on for you. We don't read reversals in general readings, only in personal. What is challenging the balance, harmony, fairness, and equality within relationships? The Chariot, 2 major arcana cards off the bat. So I believe here there could be a physical distance between you and another person, obviously. You may have also been raised in a different, very different environment, right? Because the Chariot, of course, does rule the 4th house of Cancer. That's where Mars is retrograding. Mars will retrograde. Mars is not retrograding yet, but he has passed over that threshold of the 17th degree where he will retrograde. He will retrograde, so he's in his shadow position. Whatever's going on now, you will be revisiting. And if you want to know when, as I said, we'll be doing that, and I'll be giving you the dates through Patreon. So either you've grown up in a really different environment. The challenge, the Chariot is about forward momentum, is about decision. We've got the black and the white horse or sphinx, depending on the tarot deck you're using, but it's the darkness and it's the light. It's honing in on the energies, using both energies, both powers, as they both serve their purpose to move that chariot forward. But the success is stunted. It's blocked because of an injustice, because of an imbalance, because of a legal situation. The Chariot is also, I'm moving home. It is the moon. The moon rules the natural 4th house. The moon is our psyche, it's our soul, it's our personal, private life that we keep secretive. We keep secret from others. As you know, the moon is vulnerability. It's like the opening up of the psyche, of the soul. And Scorpio is very secretive. Scorpio is also those little areas of our psyche that we hold on to, dark memories. It could be from past lifetimes, which bring up fears. Interesting, we've got Scorpio in Cancer, we've got Venus in Scorpio, and we've got Mars in Cancer. So you see how the tarot and the astrology work well together, and they give us very deep messages. So the challenge here is either physical distance, someone's emotional and personal private life, where someone is residing is the moon. Fears relative to childhood wounds, because the moon is the mother, and the mother nurtures its baby, its newborn, through nurturing. So there could be a wound there that someone for someone that is being triggered. So fear of nurturing, fear of trust. There's complete trust between mother and child, whoever takes that role. And this could be bringing trust issues up to the surface, connected to fears. Because of Libra. Libra is relationship, right? It's harmony. I need relationship, but I need equal and balanced relationships. Libra has got the weakness, let's say, the soft point. The Achilles heel of Libra is I cannot be without relationship. And that's what we all need to know, looking towards the North Node in Aries, right? So leaving the Venusian Libra part of the frequencies and looking towards the Mars that rules Aries. And Mars is the warrior, the combat, going to war, not fearing. It's cardinal fire. It is about initiation, leadership, and fearlessness. But at this time, we've got Mars in Cancer, weak. And Mars will be faced with the opposition of Pluto very soon. Are we going to go to war, or are we going to find the middle ground? Are we going to be diplomatic in our words? Remember, I said Jupiter is retrograde in Gemini. Be careful with what words you use. Be careful what you say. Things that are said cannot be taken back. Now, the pressure is on. So I suppose everything happens for a reason. If there's something that needs to be said and you cannot hold back, well, I suppose that's meant to be. That should also sort of lead the situation and bring some sort of a release. The release could be pressure. The release could be fears. The release could be those skeletons in the closet that I'm going to be vulnerable and they're going to be seen. Reputation, forms of control and jealousy. Scorpio is also jealousy. Where there are third parties, there could be jealousy. Jealousy that's hidden. And that's not, not releasing issues such as these because of fear of being left alone and without relationship. That could be another form of, the relationship not working. So remember, we're all individuals. We've all got different birth charts. So come what may, I'm going to say, and what is meant to happen will happen. Of course, there's free will, but I believe that the outcome, the fate and destiny is already, we've signed on that dotted line when we took our first breath. So when we've got challenging aspects, we could try to steer away or go through those hardships as painlessly as possible, but the final outcome for me is destiny. Let's see where this relationship is coming from. The Hanging Man. Another major, Pisces. And remember, Jupiter does not only rule Sagittarius, Jupiter also rules Pisces. And Pisces is where we've got Saturn and Neptune. Now, I just wanted to draw your attention to the fact that we've got the big players, big planets, Jupiter and Saturn. Jupiter through Gemini, Saturn in Pisces. They're in square. They're in a tight, well, no, they're not in a tight square right now. They have connected through a tight square, and that's sort of them being in battle. Jupiter wants to expand, wants to explore, wants the truth, wants more communication. Saturn, on the other hand, is saying that give it time. It's not a time of escaping, a difficult situation. It's not a time of living in a dream world. Your bubble will be burst from Saturn through Pisces, because we need to know what's true. We need to know what it is that we've been seeing through those rose-colored glasses. We need to maybe help someone else take off those rose-colored glasses and see the truth, the reality, which is Saturn through Pisces. Remember, Saturn wants reality, he wants the truth. He wants something that is, how can I say it, that's solid and that's real. Whereas Jupiter is like blowing up a balloon. It's like, it could be just air, right? Jupiter wants to expand. Jupiter wants to take that adventure. Saturn is saying, slow down, we've got work to do. Now, these two big players, which are affecting the mutable signs. If you're a mutable sign, you're a Gemini, you're a Sagittarius, you're a Virgo, or a Pisces, a lot will change for you. And coming up to Christmas, because Saturn and Jupiter have already been in that tight 90-degree difficult angle a little while ago, but they're now with Jupiter retrograding, and Saturn sometime soon is going to turn direct. They're going to come closer together again, and they're going to meet up again, which takes us back to, it does take us back to 2020, the end of 2020, where these two got together. And where did they get together? At the 0 degree of Aquarius, which is where Pluto now is going to come back to and not retrograde again back into Capricorn. So this is a third time. We're given so many opportunities from Spirit to get it right. That 0 degrees of Aquarius, 0 degrees, 29 degrees of Capricorn, they're difficult degrees. Pluto is a death and a metamorphosis. He will kill first, and then he will start to build. He will start to transform. He will bring a resurrection, obviously. But first he kills. There was something that he needed to kill and, shed and take off. Just like the snake going through those, taking off a layer of skin at a time. Like peeling back the layers of an onion. Doing the work, a stage at a time. So what was going on for you end of 2020 as these big players, Saturn, the taskmaster, Jupiter, the benevolent, right? This was like because Jupiter he was a god, Saturn was a titan. It's like Jupiter, the light, is fighting the darkness of Saturn. And it's all about power struggles. We see it collectively in the world. We see it through relationships. Now they're connecting with their first square, which is get uncomfortable, do the work, be fearless, take on the energy of Mars. Don't sit back, don't get comfortable. You need to take action. So they've connected already, but they're going to reconnect. And it's with the retrogrades now. These two big players have given us a moment of, okay, a little bit of leeway, saying, okay, retweak, redo things as we're going to meet up again around Christmas. And that's when the shit is going to hit the fan, right? Because they're connecting again, and it's like, have you done the work? Have you done the work? So I do see it as I said, as a bigger picture, all the way up until March, April, May, very important time next year in 2025, when Mars is also going to finish up his retrograde. Mind you, my dear friends, we are going to have Venus retrograde as well. Mercury and Venus will be connecting as they retrograde next year. We'll be talking about it moving forward. So the Hanging Man is something to do with a release. The Hanging Man is Neptune, which rules Pisces. Neptune and Jupiter rule Pisces. Neptune, though, at the last degree, the anaretic 29th degree of Pisces, which is the last degree of the whole zodiac, Neptune is carrying on his back. So Neptune moving through Pisces obviously has brought of has brought a lot of illusion and disillusionment and a form of escapism and fear. Neptune is not an easy planet. He's the god of the seas. Seas can get very rough emotionally, and then they can become very serene where you glide over the water. So Neptune at the last degree is retrograding through Pisces. Neptune, of course, and Saturn will meet up next year. Early next year, as I said, in the very important period of spring. Spring in the northern hemisphere, fall in the southern. They're going to have a trial get-together as they're going to ingress into Aries. Aries is a Mars-ruled sign. So you see, for me, what I'm getting is that the divine feminine, whoever holds the feminine archetype, more feminine energy within their chart, is becoming more masculine, is becoming more, not notorious, but more willing to go to war, more willing to fight for the relationships that are worth fighting for, and more releasing. As we know, the patriarchy is losing their power, and that means the power is Pluto leaving Capricorn, and we've been under the under the patriarchy for thousands of years. But and I've spoken about this, the matriarchy is becoming stronger. That means whoever holds the feminine archetype is becoming more masculine, and knowing that they too hold great power. It's like lighting a match. When the match dies out, the fire dies out, right? Because in the beginning there's a spark, and that spark is the light. That spark is the initiation. It's the aspiration. It's the power. It's life force. It feels as though the patriarchy, the masculine archetype, has lost. They've lost their power. They've been weakened as the feminine, the matriarchy, is coming into power. So something is being released. A major cycle is what we are leaving. And Pluto in Capricorn is entering Aquarius. We're entering into the age of Aquarius, slowly but surely. And we could see that, and from what I see through my experience, Pisces is the divine. It's God, it's spirit itself. For me, Pisces is lovers, twin flames coming into union. It is about our beliefs. It is about sacrifice and, unconditional love, and sacrificing our wants and our needs. Pisces is godly. Pisces is release. It's release. It's, what comes before Pisces, it's Aquarius. It's having that elevated view, seeing things from the sky, being a bird, and seeing what it is, seeing the bigger picture as to, is this relationship worth sacrificing everything? Is this relationship you sacrificing a major past cycle in your life? Because that's what is the root here, that there needs to be sacrifice, release, and letting go of karmic challenging situations, as Neptune also is at that last degree. So taking off those blinders, taking off those rose-colored glasses, seeing the truth, and seeing if there will be reciprocity. If this is your person, the person that's going to do what you did, sacrifice your wants and your needs for you, if there will be reciprocity. This is what we've been penalized, as the hanging man is like, he's hanging upside down, cannot be doing that forever, because someone needed to change their perspective, look the other way, see things from a higher perspective, see things from the other person's perspective. 3 major arcana as we begin, very, very strong. And I'm going to say Neptune has been transiting through Pisces, affecting the mutable signs ever since 2011 and 2012. 2011 is when I was seeing 11 everywhere, and then came my channel, going through my awakening. What's been going on for you since 2011 as Neptune entered Pisces? Pisces for me is my 7th house of others, clients, marriage partner, the other people, the most important people in my life. Which house does Pisces rule for you and in your birth chart? If you need help with that, get in touch with me. Order a reading. I will gladly tell you what's going on for you at this time. Energetically, because as above, so below, what is crowning you? We've got the Ten of Pentacles, family, abundance, support, an ending of a cycle and the beginning of a new cycle. Ten of Pentacles speaks to abundance and money and marriage and great support. It is a marriage card, right? It's a marriage card. It's a support from family card. It is a cycle that's come to an ending. There is support. There is manifestation here. And we know that Scorpio is also the natural 8th house in the chart, which speaks to big amounts of money, support, money that comes through from a partner or from the bank, from a partner or from a loan, from a partner or from the taxation department. Money, big amounts of money that comes from inheritance, from a family business could be. I mean, it's large amounts of money. Scorpio speaks to releasing the toxicity, going through a death process and being reborn. What has been going in the recent past? We've got the Magician, another major, everyone. The Magician is Mercury. And we know the last Mercury retrograde has been a very difficult one. Seemed to last forever, as Mercury was retrograding through the last degrees of Leo and, well, the last decan of Leo and then into Virgo, which it rules. Now, Mercury in very good aspect to Jupiter right now. So there's power in information. There's power in our words. There's power in the knowledge. Mercury in a positive aspect over to Jupiter, and Jupiter is retrograding now. Remember, Mercury is in the house of Venus, so there will be talks about love, talks about fairness, talks about, I don't know, going through some reasons why there was a lack of fairness, a lack of harmony, a lack of justice. Mercury is the smaller picture, the little details. Jupiter is the bigger picture. So they're working well together. Some truths will be revealed as Mercury is also coming up to square Pluto. And that will be happening as Pluto will be direct. So disclosures in love, disclosure relative to relationships. You can also look at the messages as we read the energies. You can also see these messages as what's going on in the world collectively in relationships, because relationships we have with our brothers, our sisters, our co-workers, our boss, with people that we're in the government with, we work together with, we're in politics together. See it as you will. We're reading the energies here relative to relationships. What is the near future or the now, whenever you're receiving this message, bringing? Another major, the Hermit. Someone sees the light. This is absolutely incredible. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 cards, and the 5 are major arcana. If this is not fate, the hand of spirit and fate, then I don't know what is. Okay, so we've got the Hermit, which is Virgo energy. We've got Gemini and Virgo as well, which is a lot about Mercury. So a lot about information, details, communication, perception. Someone is seeking the light. Someone's gone into their cave. They're seeing the light. They're looking for guidance, possibly from an astrologer, a tarot reader, or from their higher self. This could also be legal help, a legal representative, a doctor, someone that is a professional. Okay, there's great wisdom within the Hermit. Someone may be looking at how they can heal a relationship. Maybe looking at the finer details, looking to perfect, going back over past messages. It will be different for each of us. But nevertheless, we see the star in the little lantern. And the star does speak to, following that bright star, a possible wish fulfillment, that there could be hope, that there could be recognition. Let's see, because the Hermit is a 9, and after the Hermit comes the Wheel of Fate, right? Let's look at the position of you and or your relationship. Could be a past relationship, could be a relationship that you may be hoping to manifest. Take the messages as they resonate for you. We've got the Two of Cups. We've got the Two of Cups. Now, we don't read reversals, remember, so I don't know if your cups are full. Someone is seeing the light here. We've got very positive cards indeed. That someone possibly is seeing the light. We see the halo around the hanging man's head, and we also see like a halo around the lantern. So someone is going through their spiritual awakening, through tough love, through a purging, through a death process, through a breakup. It will be different for each of us. Let's look at your environment, our environment. What's going on there? And we've got the Five of Cups. So if this is your person, they have got regrets relative to the past, but they're not focusing on those Two of Cups. So is there a possibility that there are third parties? Is there, because your person is looking at the past? They're stuck on the past. Maybe on the past where there was happiness between the two of you. Maybe there has been a breakup because they're in emotional hardship and change. Five of Cups. Fives, remember, speak to change. Okay, and this is one step before the soulmate connection, the Six of Cups, which would be emotional connection. But your person needs to cross over a bridge, an emotional bridge. Leave the past, the wounding, the hurt, the disappointment, and pass over and let bygones be bygones. Leave the past in the past and move towards the future, because there's no growth, right, in being stuck in the past and not going through, not healing and, leaving the past. There's a point where we have to leave the past. Put it to sleep before we can move on, because being stuck is very unhealthy, as we know. What is in your hopes and fears, possibly on your person's mind and in their thoughts? We've got the Fool card, another major arcana. Another major, the Fool card is Mars energy, right? This is the journey. I feel as though your person has taken an emotional blow and they're coming through as weakened, and they're doubting their ability to take this leap of faith. Possibly this journey, because it could be a physical journey if there is physical distance. Right? It could be also the fear of emotionally, I've got a chip on my shoulder. My love life is, I'm not happy in my love life. I'm crying over spilt milk. I've had missed opportunities. I haven't been happy in my emotional life. And I'm going through emotional changes. Now, I don't know who you're dealing with. If you're dealing with a fixed sign, Scorpio is a fixed water sign. We've got cardinal air, Libra. We've got mutable air, Gemini, and mutable earth, Virgo. Mutable means, being flexible. Again, we've got mutable Virgo. So there is some fixation here with the Scorpio energy. We've also got mutable Pisces. So what the reading is telling me, as well as having cardinal fire, yes, there needs to be initiation. Yes, there needs to be courage. And yes, there needs to be flexibility and transmutation. We're going through changes. We are going through changes. It's not about being fixed anymore. And interesting that because this is Scorpio, and Scorpio is also ruled by Mars, so is Aries. At this time, we see a sense of weakness, the inability for Mars to do the work, and therefore there could be regrets, there could be anxiety and stress and self-worth issues coming up, and self-pity, I'm going to say as well, which is not a healthy emotion. They are thinking about this, and they're hoping that they can take this journey, obviously. Let's see what the possible outcome brings. And we've got the Hierophant, another major. You know, what's interesting about the reading today is that I was thinking to use the major arcana cards only to do a Celtic cross. And then I thought against it. I thought, okay, no, we're not going to do it like that. For many reasons. And here we are, we've got a Celtic cross spread where we've got the 5 of Cups, the 2 of Cups, and the 10 of Pentacles, which are the only cards that are not majors. So we see the 2 of Cups, we see the 5 of Cups. There are the 2 of Cups standing behind your person. They're not focusing on this, they're still stuck on the past. So they need to move through situations that they need to work through emotionally and shed, right? Just like the layers coming off. Whether it's your relationship or a past relationship that they're dealing with, because this is also closing up a major chapter and opening up a brand new one. This is a marriage. This could be an annulment of a marriage. This could be that there's a cycle closing and that there's possible support, a possible commitment. The Hierophant, another 5. Hierophant is Taurus, and Taurus is a fixed earth. So I need my emotional, financial security. Maybe that's another issue that is that has been blocking or bringing hardship to the initiation of this journey and this relationship, to be equal, right? Maybe that is something. And remember, Uranus is transiting through Taurus, and Taurus is the most fixed sign of all. We've got Taurus, Scorpio, and their finances. It's the axis of finances, self-worth, feel-good energies, sex, intimacy, secrecy, power struggles as well. And a death process, change, getting unstuck, overcoming any fears of, taking that risk, taking that leap of faith. Taurus is the sign that would be the least risk taking, because they need to be certain before they move forward. But Uranus is there bringing the unexpected, awakening, breakthrough, and change. It's like Uranus is saying, look, I'm going to take everything from you. You're going to be left naked. You're going through a rebirth. A rebirth, when we go through a death process, we don't take our clothes with us. Knock on wood. We don't take our clothes with us. As we are birthed in our birthing suit, we go in our birthing suit. So it's like being stripped from everything. The security, the money, the support from family, the emotional security, the information, the truth. Because if you've been dealing with someone that was not sharing on a deep level, not joining you halfway, not doing the work halfway, it feels as though they needed to go through that to understand. Because remember, the seed of the reading is the Hanging Man. That is sacrifice to the full extent. So someone needed to see things from a different perspective. Now, the Hierophant is a spiritual connection. Yes. It's also someone becoming a teacher, a spiritual teacher through their hard life experiences and teachings. Someone is becoming the wise one, the Hierophant, which has, we know the Hierophant holds experience. beneath their belts, and they've got the ability to steer and to guide others. Now, yes, this could be someone in your person's life or in your life that you are seeking the guidance from. It could be you or your person. But the Hierophant is also the marriage card. It's the union, the spiritual union, which could also, for some of us, we're already in a spiritual union and we don't know. We don't trust it because we don't see it in the 3D. We don't see the actualization of this union in the 3D. So we see the keys here, and the keys for me do speak to Chiron. And Chiron is the wound. Many of us are born with Chiron in a position in our charts that could be talking about relationships, which is the open wound that we're carrying. All relationships, not only love and marriage, right? Could be our relationship to our parents. For instance, I've got my Chiron in my 7th house. So my most important relationships, one-on-one. Chiron is the open wound. It's also the resolution. It's the healing, but through heavy experiences, through heavy lessons, and through spiritual awakening. We've got a Two of Pentacles at the foundation. Remember that the juggler here, Two of Pentacles, this could be someone that's two-timing, someone that's wanting to keep these pentacles up in the air. What are these pentacles? They are two aces, so two serious relationships for me. We've also got the two keys here that look like the Two of Pentacles. Look at this here. Can you see the similarity? Beneath the Two of Pentacles is the Seven of Cups, which speaks to someone that has got many opportunities. This could be someone that's two-timing or someone that's coming out of one relationship going into another. This could be someone that has challenges where making a decision is concerned, right? But someone who's juggling could possibly also drop both balls, both these pentacles. There is a risk when someone is in two places at the same time that they could lose both. And that's the way the cookie crumbles. Now we've got Seven of Cups, which could speak to illusion, deception, self-illusion. And again, I'm going to say things being up in the air and not being very clear at all. Beneath that is the Page of Swords. So we've got Gemini energy. It speaks to communication or someone possibly looking for the truth, trying to clear the cloud and the illusion and the deception. Someone checking out on your social media, or you doing that. Or there's a lack of misconception and misunderstandings relative to information in the past. And that's why things are still up in the air. And it's connected to sharing, possibly also, maybe also having doubts about where someone is in their emotional life, because we see the scales here. And the scales can speak to separation. This is equal giving and receiving, or unequal in the past, that someone was giving more to one side than the other. That someone was only taking, the other person was only giving. Someone that was generous with others and not with you. So like Lilith on the 29th degree of Libra, feeling like there's a sense of injustice. You haven't been treated fairly and justly. Let's take some more cards. What an incredible layout this is. Let's take the Lenormand. And I've chosen decks that I don't use very often, just for a little bit of fresh energies, different perspectives. I haven't used this little Lenormand deck for quite some time. What is going on in love, dear Spirit? What's going on in love? Let's see what's going on. We've got the lily, and the lily is a spiritual connection. It's also a very strong sexual card. Someone wanting to do things in the ethical way, in the right way. We've got the house. The house can be someone's home, someone's family. It could be an actual relationship as well. The lily is also, I mean, it is Chiron in Virgo. Chiron in Virgo. And we know Virgo is all about practical matters. Chiron in Virgo. Virgo is the house of healing. Chiron is the open wound. So I don't know if this is saying that someone needed to go through this so that they themselves could become the healer for others, or someone choosing the difficult route, staying ethical, staying motherly, and doing the right thing, connected to family. So maybe possibly a parent staying in an unhealthy situation for their children, whether it's a mother or a father. A father could be motherly as well. Let's see what else we've got. We've got a window of opportunity with a clover. We've got the fountain. The fountain speaks to happiness. It's like Venus going through a rebirth, right? We do see in the Lenormand many times that Venus is in the fountain. Remember, she was created through the war between the two titans, Saturn and Uranus. Remember that history repeats itself, and we do go through various cycles again and again, larger and smaller cycles. Now it's Jupiter and Saturn. So it's where it was the grandfather and the father, now it's the father and the son going at it, right? So fighting for the power. But we know that Jupiter wins in mythology. Zeus wins. He takes the throne of his father Saturn. So the light wins over the darkness, because we also know that Uranus was a titan as well. Remember, Uranus, god of the sky. The sky, when the sky would connect with Gaia, Earth, the titans were formed, such as Kronos, right? Kronos was the son of Gaia and Uranus. So, and Venus is also the daughter of Uranus. So, okay, enough about the mythology, but I usually see the garden as a very happy place. It's like being in the Garden of Eden, doing things in the correct way. The garden, of course, also speaks to someone's reputation and their name in society, right? The garden is also someone's public affairs, their reputation in society. It also can speak to someone that is well known in their society, or that someone is willing to, work together, to do the work, to, reciprocate. This could also speak to a possibility for some sort of a meeting in a public place. There is a possibility of Venus being rebirthed. Remember, she is transiting through Scorpio now, and she's going to come out into and ingress into Sagittarius, which is a Jupiter-ruled sign. So that will be all about truth and expansion and exploration and happiness, right? So we do have a moment of luck and opportunity, as long as we take that and not miss the opportunity. We've got the mice, which the mice can speak to injustices, third parties, or something eating away at someone, right? This is unhealthy. The mice can speak to third parties, can speak to someone going through financial stress and distress, because remember that I was talking about someone needing the security, needing to know that this is secure. And many times, because Venus is love and money, we could be bouncing between, yes, money, love. They do connect, everything is affiliated and is connected, dear friends. So there is worry, there is stress here, and there is also doubt and a sense of injustice. But we've got the anchor, and the anchor can speak to commitment, yes. Can speak to someone being humbled, yes. Can speak to secret love affairs, because the mice would be other parties connected within a connection, a relationship. This as a picture, as an outcome, to me says that there are opportunities, but there's still something that needs to be worked through, which is going to ground us again, because the anchor is it's very Saturnian, saying that this is the truth, this is real, this is reality. There's something that needs still to be worked out with the mice here. It's like we still owe something. There's something that we owe, that there's something that is owed. And this could also be someone wanting to go through separation and divorce and needing to pay money out. And that could also be some karma that someone is working through, that it's going to cost them financially. What's going to cost them? Letting go of a past relationship that was not a spiritual one, that was not high level and, godly, and not blessed by the gods, but was something relative to financial security and, the mundane and the everyday day-to-day life. So where practical matters are concerned. So being with someone because it suits me financially, or being in a relationship because that's the way it's always been done. And, kings marry into other royal families, right? Other royalties. So that's the way it goes. That's the way tradition goes. So breaking these cycles is never easy. It's never easy. So, and that means, for me, that speaks to an ascension process that we are going through relative to connection. Now, remember, the Hierophant is also a card of belief. It's a card of belief. It's a second chance at a long-term connection that's promised here, at a spiritual connection. And look at these two. They look like twins. They're a reflection of each other. To me, this speaks to a spiritual connection, surely. And it is Taurus. I would say up until Uranus moving through Taurus, for many of us, 2025 and into 2026, as the outer planets are going to enter air signs, things will start to get paced, and there will be an ascension of relationships that are meant to be. The twin flames especially. And it is a process. There's the key, there's Chiron, there's the healing, there's the resolution. This is Venus in Taurus. Unlocking, but also getting liberated. This is an achievement, this is a revelation. The key speaks to something long-lasting, and that speaks to a spiritual connection that can become a reality. That could be that could be grounded in the physical form, right? The 3D, Venus in Taurus, not Venus in Libra. That's more the ascended relationship. And we've got a divine masculine that's showing up here. So if you're a divine feminine, this is your person. Whoever nevertheless carries the more masculine energies is showing up here, and they're going through some sort of a breakup. They're sitting on the scythe, and the scythe is hasty, quick, cutting through. The scythe is also Saturnian. Remember the Grim Reaper? Saturn also deals with death. Timing. This is like an ending. It's a 10. And remember that we've got the wheat here. Now, the scythe could be a tool. The tool could be a past relationship. That this is how I will climb the ladder to my riches, through Is it through a marriage? Was it through a fixed situation? Was it because of tradition? I don't know. But the scythe is used to take the wheat, but the scythe is also used for beheading. Remember that Uranus is on Algol, the Gorgon, Medusa, who is with Uranus and will be with Uranus until next spring. This is the beheading of the poison. This is the beheading of the toxic relationships and those who use their power over us. There is something to do with legalities here, but also an ending of communication in the past, I say. Your person, I feel that this is your person. They are working through issues. The key can speak to a new home. The Chariot is in the challenge position, moving to a new home, but that's a challenge. I don't know why it's a challenge. Maybe because it's connected to their family of origin, a mother. I don't know. Let's take some of the, obviously, our exceptional deck, Mystic Moon Oracle, which shows our psyche. We're digging deep into the psyche and into our emotions, our most hidden emotions. Now, of course, we can be talking about, we don't purposely hide our emotions. We're subconsciously looking into our psyche because it may be right there and we can't see it. What's going on in your life, and then we will look at your person. Let's look at you roundabout now, where you are emotionally and relative to your psyche. You're not seeing things clearly, or you're hoping that masks will come off. I'm going to say maybe you're also putting on a brave front. Maybe you've sacrificed a lot and you're not showing the pain, the wounding. Wow, you've got an awakening. You've got a sudden aha moment here, a sudden breakthrough. Maybe it's the masks that are coming off for you. And wow, okay. So you're being truthful with your emotions. If you haven't been able to free yourself from a situation where you could not see clearly, Spirit brings in the information for you. If you've been in a relationship where there have been masks that have been worn, Spirit is like pushing you over the ledge towards your freedom. If you've been wearing a mask yourself, you're going to blurt out. Uranus is going to bring you a tower moment where you will not be able to hold back on your truth. If you haven't been able to see clearly, you will be seeing clearly, and you will find a way out of a situation that you could not see clearly, or out of a karmic major cycle in your life that you need to release. Let's take one more on that free will for you. We've got Pisces and Aquarius here, so it could be in the time then, and you're going through a purge process. There is the purge. We've also got release. I don't know what you're purging. It could be fear. It could be someone that was toxic that you were with. Could have been, because Scorpio is also sex. Maybe someone was in your life and pretending that they had feelings for you and using you just for the intimate part of the relationship. There's so much. Let's go into your person. Ooh, okay. So we've got Uranus and Pluto. Now, Uranus and Pluto, they're already in good connection. Uranus through Taurus, Pluto through Capricorn. Next year, they will be exact. So expect a huge twist of fate, a huge purging process. You will have finished with your metamorphosis. You will be going through a rebirth. You will be free. You will be free, and freedom, the freedom could also be financial, because we've got a Scorpio Pluto card here. Maybe you will have paid your debts as well. I'm going to say, my dear friends, your debts will have finished. You will have finished with paying your debts, your karmic debts. Let's look at your person. Patience. Inner child. Forgiveness. Let's take one more. The inner child is like Chiron for me. Surely your person is working through trauma, because Chiron is trauma from maybe their childhood or a past lifetime, or maybe they were in a family, where their parents were separated, and these could have been issues connected to their mother and their inner child. Maybe they've treated you unfairly, or maybe they're asking for forgiveness from a child. If they are parents, they've been very patient, trying to be humble and grounded, but there's something connected to forgiveness with your person. Maybe the forgiveness is that they treated you unfairly. They did not let you in, right? Because of a lack of trust. Let's see one more. But they're going through an ascension process themselves. Two very strong cards indeed. So this could also be, yes, someone that is returning. Your person is returning and you're up-leveling. They're up-leveling. They're helping this connection go through that ascension process. They've learned their lesson. This could be also self-forgiveness, where they need to forgive themselves as well for not loving and nurturing themselves, because they've been too patient. They've been not loving themselves, and maybe they needed to do more of that so that they could be more complete within themselves, and therefore give you, reciprocate with you. But remember, when we've got a chip on our shoulder, it's not possible to give ourselves, to be whole, and therefore be in a healthy relationship. The general energy is the guide. So it's all about seeing the light. It's all about having the information, connecting with spirit, seeing the truth, seeking the wisdom, the inner or the outer wisdom, doesn't matter. It will be different for each of us. We've got a divine masculine that's going through an awakening, and they want to return. They want to return, but they paused. Maybe they've gone through a release themselves because they've abandoned in the past, or they were dealing with abandonment issues relative to themselves. Maybe they had these abandonment issues and did not want to abandon if they were a parent and hurt their own child. So maybe this could be a parent that's asking for forgiveness from their child. No one's born into, being the perfect parent. It takes work, and it takes a lot. So I will take just a couple of cards just to get a little bit more clarity on the most important areas, as this is quite a long reading. I don't want to make it too long. So I want to see the Hermit, first of all, in the near future. What is the understanding? What is the light? What is the guidance here? What is it that we are being shown? That there is a humbling energy that someone's going through, because the Dottore, this is called the arrogance card, and it's a 13. Someone is releasing the toxicity, releasing any bad blood as well. There's a moment of healing, because we've got the Doctor and we've got the Hermit, which is a doctor, which is a spiritual healing as well. Someone has been humbled. They've gone through a lot of humbling because they were very arrogant. They were very, they thought they were larger than life. I'm getting a lot of ego here. We've all been humbled to a certain point, my dear friends, through the challenging times that we've been going through. And that is because we need to take off the blinders and see that we are we're human, we're not godly. Okay? And we walk this life, we've got an opportunity to work through past karma, and, you know, our soul can go through its ascension process. We go to the next level. Let's see what the Two of Cups is in the position of you and or a relationship. We've got Superbia. Now, of course, there has been ego here as well. You know, Superbia is the male peacock. There's spirituality, there's abundance, there's beauty, there's also ego. Yeah? There's also some vanity and some ego. But this is also pride, not only ego. Let's have a look at your person. Why do they have the Five of Cups? What's gone on with your person? What's going on with your person? They're going through a tower moment and a rude awakening. There's something that they are discovering. It's the Seven of Swords. They're going through some sort of an awakening and possibly a disaster. And I'm going to say you can flip sides if that is your person. Let's take one more on that. And what they're seeing is what they've always dreamed of. This is a rude awakening that your person is going through, and therefore their life is going through a massive transformation so that this dream could possibly come true. And if they've been in dreamland, in la la land, they're being awoken very rudely. Let's have a look at the outcome with the Hierophant. What does the Hierophant, which speaks to beliefs, religion, family, conservatism, leadership, guidance. Let's see. We've got, this is the Six of Cups, and this is like the Ace of Pentacles, an advantageous or rich matrimony wedding. Is that with a soulmate? Does that have got to do with the past? As I said, someone's marrying for the wrong reason. I don't know. Let's take a couple more and we'll see. See, someone went into a marriage, went into an agreement for the wrong reasons. We've got Nine of Swords and the Prigione. Saturnian lessons and worries. Because someone found themselves stuck in a difficult situation, or that some of you have been waiting this forever. Saturn says in divine timing, here is the divine timing for some of you. There's going to be a positive meeting, Ace of Cups, a physical meeting, an emotionally happy meeting with your person, with family. This is good news. This is potential. This is serenity. This is moving towards serenity. But when Saturn says that the work, the rules and the regulations, the doing things in the right way is concerned, going by the law of the world, the law of Saturn. I want to see what this these mice, what is this worry about? Third parties, that there could be jealousy, third parties, a lack of certainty whether someone is single and free. The Five of Cups is on your person's side as well. Let's take one more. There's a lot of jealousy and it's eating away at your person. We've got the Bambino, so a lot of worries also connected to a physical child or how to begin this when there's others involved. And falsità, falsehood, fear of distrust is also eating away at your person, unless they are in another connection with someone that is very false, and that is something karmic that they needed to go through, which also financially has taken away from them, has cost them. Let's take one more on that, falsità. And we've got the Morte. So the Morte is the Five of Swords. There's some sort of an ending relative to third parties, through communication, through legalities. Morte, this is an ending. because a new beginning is wanting to open up. Let's read the release card. We've got a divine masculine that's crying over something that they are leaving, something that is going from their life. Change was not easy for them. We've got a divine masculine that's in solitude. That's the Three of Swords. But let's read number 13. Scorpio comes through very strongly. That would be Venus in transiting through Scorpio, surely. And of course Pluto. Pluto at the last degrees of Capricorn. And a degree of urgency. Okay, discard, shed, end, transformation, freedom, empowerment. An opportunity for renewal around affairs of the heart is available at this time, and it's quite possible that this renewal will happen through release. It's in letting go that you discover what remains. What is truly yours? Sometimes in relationships you may feel the need to hold on tightly to those you love, right? This is like a little sparrow that's in my palm, and I'm holding on tight. What's going to happen to this little sparrow? What's going to happen to love, to someone's heart? It's crushed, right? So what we need to do, sometimes in relationships, you may feel the need to hold on tightly to those you love, whether or not this love is returned. This can lead to tension and unhappiness for all involved. And I'm going to say a death, an ending. Even in a good relationship, holding on too tightly doesn't allow the relationship to breathe, grow, and mature. Are you restricting someone or trying to attract someone through your will? Discard any need for control and see how the relationship transforms. Watch how releasing the overwhelming need for a relationship allows the perfect one to appear. So even the Justice card here, Libra, which is I really need a relationship. This is also what we need to overcome as we can have a good relationship with ourselves. Aries, right? I mean my. Shed any beliefs and behaviors that do not serve your highest good. Throughout life, we receive many mixed and often incorrect messages about how a relationship should work. Let go of any preconceived notions or expectations about your relationships or your lack of them. By doing so, your current relationships can flow and flourish in a way that is best for everyone. By being yourself, you also attract to you the relationships that will serve you best. This is also a card of possible endings. Are there relationships that you cling to that you would be better off leaving? In letting go of a stagnant or difficult situation, you empower yourself, opening the way for new and rewarding relationships. So this is talking to the collective, obviously, dear friends. So you're either on the ending of old and beginning of new, or ending of an old situation, cycle to begin a new cycle. Let's see what's going on with this little Greek love oracle. We've got two cards of cardinal energy here, which speaks to initiation, new seasons. New seasons. What is the potential relative to the love relationship that we are watching this for? We've got the soulmate card here. We've got the doctor, the card of healing, hurt, pain, change. We've got a brand new cycle. These are the aces. The stork brings the child. Here are the children. Yes, for some of you, there still could be third parties, because this is, of course, the Six of Cups, which I was talking about, that we were at the Five of Cups, your person. We've got the Six of Cups there and the Six of Cups here. This does speak to friendships, children, and past situations. Now, I'm not reading reversals, but we've got Five of Cups, Six of Cups. So there is a transition. We've got the Five of Pentacles, which speaks to we're both feeling left out in the cold. Something needed to be healed. Something needed to change. We've got the stork here, and the stork is a brand new cycle. It's also a transition. It could speak to flight travel. It could speak to movement as well. And it does represent all the aces, so everyone has got an opportunity for something new. But remember, we've got the outsider here as well, where we see 3 children. And we've also got 3 people here. So for some of us, there's something about release in the future, in divine timing, and that could come through self-love, because it's the Ace of Cups, but it could also come through when someone is putting something to rest that was very karmic. They needed to do the work, they needed to go through some sort of a release, and that is releasing maybe a relationship where someone was in, but there was solitude, they felt alone. There was no harmony, there was no balance. What is the divine masculine, the widower? What is he sitting on? He's sitting on a melancholia, where we see the divine feminine also is mourning a loss. They're both in the same energies, and this is 2 people that are spiritually connected. There's been some sort of an offer here, some sort of will, some sort of drive about the connection, an offer that has been lost, that's been promised. For whatever reasons, it's been blocked. See that? This is the spiritual connection. This is the Ace of Wands. This is seeing something clearly, but also having the decisive action, or seeing the truth. But we've ended up with these energies which tell me that there are still issues that need to be worked through, and letting go of any poison connected to the past as well, which is feelings of remorse, feelings of not being loved, not being valued, not being equal, not being like Lilith, not being respected. So having been disrespected, which brings up all these dark emotions relative to Scorpio, but this is a release that we're going through. So the release, of course, will be different for each of us. I want to take one advice card from the Wisdom of the Oracle, and I will leave the message up to you and how it works for you in your life. Message in a bottle, and we've got very similar. Of course, this is not a stork. It's a pelican, but look at the similarities. There's a message in a bottle that's coming through that's taken forever. It's a number 15. 15 is the blockages, is the chronos time. In the right time, a message in a bottle is coming in, and this is something that you do not expect. Let's take some thoughts, some communication, some words exchanged, or emotions not exchanged, not being, verbalized. I will wait for you for as long as it takes. And remember what I said, we will not be doing the yes please today, because we are looking, we'll do it randomly sometime, but we're looking towards, it's October 9 today, and December and Christmas is just around the corner. So I've got a lot of things that I need to do for Patreon, for, readings, general readings for 2025. And therefore, and of course, Christmas is also a busy period where people do order readings. They also gift them to their friends. So we'll be doing it randomly whenever I have the time. I will wait for you for as long as it takes, and I'm going to remind you, get in quick before Christmas so that you know what's going on in 2025 for you. It's done, door closed, feeling blue, they cheated. My heart is in your hands, please don't hurt me. Become a patron, get a discount on your reading. If not with you, then no one. I feel like a fool for leaving you. I want you with me. I want you to be mine. I can't live without you. I will climb any mountain. I will swim any river to be with you. Come to me. Please forget me. It was a mistake. I was going to say, please forgive me. I've made a million mistakes. That's another card. A love like ours will never pass, be mine. So we do have a stable offer. The Ace of Pentacles is here. And please forgive me. I want another chance with you. We've got the forgiveness from your person here. So someone is asking for forgiveness. And last card, we are so different and I don't know if this could ever work out. I don't know what to do. So someone is looking for forgiveness here, my friends, and there's something that we need to release. And releasing, what do we need to release is the toxicity, is the poison, okay? Because we've been dealing with a lot of poison, obviously, collectively as well as personally. I do see a lot of purging and a lot of releasing going on, looking at the bigger picture. Each of us in our own personal lives and in our relationships, all relationships, right? We see for many people that are not fearless about looking at the truth and taking off those blinders about what's going on in the world, and not only in the world, because we're all part of the world. We all walk this world, so we're collectively in the same soup. Obviously, the worst is coming out in people because they fear looking at the truth, because they fear, looking the other way and looking at other people's truths and perspectives and so on and so forth. And of course, ever since 2020 and the COVID season, the social distancing, this all started then. It's brought out the worst in people. It takes a lot of guts, a lot of courage, and a lot of fearlessness to be able to look at the truth, to be able to stand in our truth, to be able to speak our truth, and to feel free. Feel free to speak our truth and not hide behind our little finger, our little pinky, right? And that also speaks to relationships. So it's all interconnected, unfortunately. But we know that humanity is going through an ascension process, and so are relationships. Those relationships that need to survive, that are destined to survive, will survive. Those that need to go will go. It's time. Also, the release is not only relationships, it's releasing the toxicity generally from our lives. And because we've reached rock bottom, Pluto at the last minutes of Capricorn, which Capricorn is the patriarchy, Capricorn is the elite, it is those who sit in power, those who hold the power, those who hold the riches. It's the end of this era. It's time for change. Now, I will not go into any more. I did say I'll be doing a tarot reading just for fun, to see what comes through relative to the US elections, whether Trump or whether Kamala will win the elections. I'm going to see between these two leaders. Now, knock on wood, there have been instances where, Trump nearly leaves this earth, where, they're trying to get rid of him. Okay, knock on wood, we don't want anything nasty happening to anyone. Not Kamala, not Trump. Let the best man win, I'm going to say. And at the end of the day, we want what is best for humanity. It's not that we've got an affiliation or a liking to the one or the other. We're just going to do a tarot reading just for fun. And we'll see what comes through. Now, we'll be doing that very soon. I will get that out to you soon. So I'd like to hear your comments on if you're interested in that. Remember, I don't want to go political on this channel, but it's just for fun. We did it on the last elections, and you know, as I said, come what may and let the best man win. Whatever is going on, we see that humanity now is coming out of the darkness. We're coming out of the darkness. We've still got a little while to go. We've still got some turf to pass over. We've still got the finish line, but humanity is going through a death process and a resurrection. So it's all about release, and a death process is never easy. So keep that in mind. If you're still standing up until now, we're all champions, we're all heroes. Let's come together and not be against each other, but be more together. Form groups and alliances for the best of humanity, the people and our children. My best wishes, and we're hoping that we don't lose many people through these hurricanes and these freak weather conditions moving through the US. Okay. Our blessings to you all, and let's just hope that everything goes smoothly and we don't lose many people. It is a sad story. It is hard what's been happening. Each country has got their own, karma, let's say. We see the wars. We see so many people being lost through war. That's another thing that should come to an end, should be terminated. Let's talk it out. Let's bring democracy back. Let's bring democracy back where the people get to vote, right? We don't put all the weight and all the responsibility on few. Let's share the work. Let's share our lives, and let's all become one. That's the Aquarian dream. I will leave you with that, my dear friends. And no more wars. Cease the wars. Let the wars finish here. Love and light to all of you.